So even though Melania Trump has essentially refused to campaign with Donald Trump, she's been like nowhere on the campaign trail, despite all the right-wing media saying that she was going to be with him every step of the way. Now that she's trying to sell her book called Melania, which by the way, looks like AI the way it's posted on her website, in order to sell the book, she's now spreading vile and unhinged conspiracies that the shooting in Butler, Pennsylvania at the Trump rally involved the police and FBI and that they were somehow involved in it. This is the type of vile filth that she is spreading right now. Here's a selfie video that she made of herself from today. Play this clip.
The attempt to end my husband's life was a horrible, distressing experience. Now, the silence around it feels heavy. I can't help but wonder, why didn't law enforcement officials arrest the shooter before the speech? There is definitely more to this story, and we need to uncover the truth.
And as Bradley Moss says, this is a reminder that Melania was never some innocent victim in Trump's political controversies. She used to push birtherism garbage as well. Now she is pushing this conspiracy that law enforcement wanted to get Donald Trump killed. Just to remind you, she was one of the chief people pushing the Obama birth certificate hoax back in 2015, 2016.
But what is this with the birth certificate obsession? Did he ask to see yours when you met him?
I needed to put mine anyway, because if you want to become an American citizen, you need to put the birth certificate.
Right.
I have a birth certificate from Slovenia. And do you want to see President Obama birth certificate or not?
I've seen it.
It's not the birth certificate.
Well, it's a certificate of live birth,
right,
which they give. But Melania, if he insists on what he's saying, then no one in Hawaii can ever run for president because they all get the same live birth certificate.
Well, but they need to have...
Butler is finished, for example.
They need to have, and in one way, it will be very easy if President Obama just show it. And because it's not only Donald who wants to see it, it's American people who voted for him and who didn't vote for him. They want to see that.
But it's on display in Chicago. We've seen it on the internet. We've seen it. It's not the same as yours, but it's a certificate of live birth.
Well, we feel it's different than birth certificate.
All right. Well, I think you should give it up at this point.
Well, it's not. It's not him that it's bringing up. It's the media all the time. His points are really about bringing back the jobs.
And every step of the way, she is a Trump, grifting off we the people. She's selling NFTs, using symbols of America, using visuals of our soldiers, of our Marines, and selling NFT versions of that on Memorial Day or Veterans Day, selling NFTs of the Apollo 11 moon landing, selling NFTs of the Fortitude collection, making gold chains out of images of our Marines and our soldiers and other symbols of the United States of America. And every step of the way, she takes and steals and plagiarizes. Like, remember the convention speech with her and Michelle Obama, where she literally took every aspect of the speech? Here, play this clip.
My parents were raised with so many of the same values.
That you work hard for what you want.
You work hard for what you want.
That your word is your bond.
That your word is your bond. That you do what you say you're going to do. That you treat people
with respect.
With dignity and respect, even if you don't know them, and even if you don't agree with them.
And
Barack and I set out to build lives guided by these values and to pass them on to the next generation, because we want our children and all children in this nation to know that the only limit to the height of your achievements is the reach of your dreams and your willingness to work hard for them.
And your willingness to work for them.
And just to show you some of the other ads that she's cutting right now for this ridiculous book that she's making, here's one that she just posted the other day. Play this clip.
The 2020 election results changed our lives forever. It impacted our quality of life, cost of food, gasoline, safety, and even the geopolitical landscape. America is more divided today than ever before. It has become increasingly apparent that there are significant challenges to free speech, as demonstrated by the efforts to silence my husband.
And again, the Trumps trying to profit off of the shooting in Butler, Pennsylvania, right? I mean, Melania trying to sell books, Donald Trump selling multiple sneakers and high tops, assassination edition high tops and sneakers like this, the fight high tops right here. Also, Donald Trump making posts like this. What did you know and when did you know about it? And it's a photo of the FBI director, Christopher Wray. And then Trump goes, retruth if you want to know who ordered the assassination of Donald Trump. Well, we know who was there and who did it. I mean, we know it was a Trump-supporting MAGA kid, white kid from Pennsylvania, whose parents had MAGA flags in their house. Like, we know who it is. This was a family that was targeted by the Trump campaign based on their proclivity for supporting weapons of war proliferation in the United States and no gun control. We know who they are. And here's Donald Trump, though, at a recent press conference that he held, saying that the reason that there's no real marks on his ears at all, there's no any type of side effects whatsoever, is because he goes, he's a quick healer. And then he says, my lobe healed very quickly. An AR-15 went right through it, but it healed very quickly. Play this clip.
Yeah, pretty much recovered. Yeah, I'm a fast healer. It's a hell of a shot, but I'm a fast healer. Yeah, pretty much recovered. Do you have any hearing damage from it? No, it didn't hit that. I got very lucky. It just hit the lobe, as they call it. Is there a scar on your ear? Yeah, a little bit, not much. On top. A little.
And now Donald Trump goes around as he's selling assassination edition sneakers in these speeches and claims he got hit with an AR-15 bullet in the head. That's what he goes and says, that he got hit with an AR-15 bullet in his head. Here, play this clip.
No fair. She was vice president that nobody knew. She shouldn't have been vice president. If they call threat to democracy. She's a threat to democracy. The way they call me, threat. I take a bullet in the head, and I'm a threat. No. She's a threat to democracy. Think of it. But
I still see your head right there. You did not get hit with an AR-15 bullet in your head, and you don't even know where your earlobe is located. And why wouldn't you just release the medical records from the Butler, Pennsylvania hospital? That's what you could have done, rather than have some MAGA Republican congressman who used to hold a medical license write you a doctor's note. Maybe you should have just released the report, and then people could have had transparency. But you don't release your tax returns, you don't release reports, you don't release any of that. Speaking of which, it's one of the reasons you were found liable for false or criminally convicted for falsifying business records. And speaking of Melania, remember when Melania said to our friend, Stephanie Winston Wolkoff, and Stephanie used to we used to work with Melania. Remember she called Stormy Daniels a porn hooker? Here, play this clip.
She's, they say that it might be her last cover, but they don't know. I mean, that's that nobody wants to comment. I don't know. I think that's what I find out. If you go Google and read it. And Annie Leibovitz shot the porn hooker, and she will be one of the issues September or October.
What do you mean she shot the porn hooker?
Stormy.
For what?
Oh, you didn't read it? Yeah, it was yesterday came out. For Vogue. She will be in Vogue. Annie Leibovitz shot her.
So finally, that brings me to this incredible segment by Sandra Bernhard. She's an incredibly funny comedian. Check out her podcast as well, and everything that she's on. So she commented on Melania's book, and I thought this was just spot on. Here, play this clip.
I thought, should I get Melania in here today? Melania Trump with her fabulous new biography, her autobiography. She's going to set the record straight. Set the record straight? Honey, you're a grifter, a hooker. a nowhere first lady. And what record are you going to set straight? You were a birther. You fucking like jumped on the bandwagon and like tortured Barack Obama about whether he was born in America. So you don't need to set any record straight, honey. We know what your record is with your tacky paper thin volume. What will it be? 50 pages? Double spaced? You have nothing to say. Ban that book. Don't you spend a penny on that book. I forbid you to buy Melania Trump's autobiography, whatever the fuck it is. Okay. That's all the airtime I'm giving that crazy bitch.
Yeah, so it's like, Melania, what are you going to be selling right now? You're selling this, the Meta Rose NFT for $150? Well, is the Political Action Committee going to pay your hairstylist $18,000 a month for the rest of your life? It's because that's what's been happening. Mr. and Mrs. Magadoni have paid Melania, hairstylist, like $500,000, potentially even more than that now. And I just think it was important that we just point out the overall kind of grift here and what this family is doing every day. Anyway, let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million together. Thanks for watching.
Real quick, Meta just changed their algorithm to suppress political content. Please follow our Instagram @MeidasTouch right now as we head towards 400,000 followers so you don't miss a beat.